Hey there, girlfriend. Are you an introverted, six-figure female 9 to 5er? Well, this video is for you, especially if you are interested in building your own side hustle, a profitable one. And you are looking to do those type of things, you are definitely in the right place. And we can't wait to share how you transform your employee mindset into an entrepreneur mindset. Let's do this, shall we? We'll see you on the other side. Hey there, my name is Ingafay, and I am a former mechanical engineer, now side hustle strategist. And now I am working with successful corporate women who are introverted that want to build something of their own, whether it's to replace their corporate income or just to have that extra side hustle money. Now, we all know that when you're working when you have a six-figure job, these jobs are not things that are just a drop in the bucket. It takes some time to find another job. And for whatever reason, you were to get laid off or you decided to quit because you didn't want to do something unethical, you want to have something of your own that you're able to rely on to kind of fill the gap. So that when those times comes, you don't have to make rash decisions because you got bills to pay. That you'll really be able to take the due diligence to find something that you actually love or continue to pursue your side hustle. It's completely up to you. So today I wanted to talk to you about an employee mindset compared to an entrepreneur mindset. And it is definitely different. And the first concept that I wanted to share with you today is, first and foremost, it's just the known path compared to iteration. So what do I mean by the known path? The known path is that you go to school, you get your degree, and you go work for a company. And back in the day, it used to be you work for a company for 30 plus years and get your gold watch. But those times are definitely over. You working for a company 3 to 5 years is probably the typical norm right now. And with that said, that's why it's even more imperative for you to have the side hustle and always have some money coming in from another source of income, not just your primary from your job. Now, why do I say that this is a known path? Because you think about it, well, at least for me, my parents were educators, and this is what they used to preach to me over and over again for me growing up, that I had to go to school, that I had to get my degree. And then that's when I would go and get my job. And that's exactly what I did. I got a bachelor's and a master's degree in mechanical engineering from Virginia Tech. Then I went and worked for a chemical company for over 20 plus years. And now I'm a full-time entrepreneur. But those were the paths that I was chosen. I didn't get the gold watch because I didn't work at my company for 30 plus years, but I did work for at least 20. But that's what people are so used to. So when it comes to entrepreneurship, that's where the iteration comes in. And you may say, well, why do you consider it to be iteration? Because the path that I just described to you is a known path that many have taken before and probably after you. But the entrepreneurial path is one that's not time bound like the employee path. You know, you're going to go to school typically for 4 to 5 years to get your bachelor's degree. And then if you want to get an advanced degree, it's probably going to be another 2 or 3, depending on what type of degree that you get. But it's a known path. Now, entrepreneurship, you may start today, but it's going to take you some time to be successful. And how long that's going to take, nobody knows, right? It's just iterating. That's why I called it the iteration. That's why it's so much different than the employee path. And that's why people are often fearful of it but the one thing that I have learned about entrepreneurship that I think rings true regardless of what type of business that you have, whether it be product-based or service-based, is that you got to start. And that's really where the magic begins, because you can speculate, you can be paralyzed by fear, but until you start and take that action, the next step is not revealed until you do. You can't speculate on it. You can't hope and pray for it. You have to take the action, and then the step is revealed. It's almost kind of like a magical staircase, I would like to describe it as. That you step on that first step, and because you stepped on that first step, and Why did you why is this next step taken? I mean, why is the next step revealed? Because you took action. That is why it's revealed. So you take that first action and then you realize what the next action is, but it's because you took the first. And you have to take the first for you to know what's next. It's not that pearly path as the entrepreneur that you can kind of look over and know that after you get your degree, at some point you're going to look to work to find a job. But when you're an entrepreneur, it doesn't work that way. So what I want to tell you, if you're contemplating starting a side hustle, is that you got to feel the fear and do it anyway. I can think of it many a time. As a matter of fact, I can think of this one time I was doing a summit, and I was doing it for the very first time. I was talking to this guru. This man was a millionaire, and I realized that I had set an appointment up with him, and I was very nervous about the appointment. I was going to ask him to be a guest on my summit. Well, to my surprise, he agreed that he was going to do it. And do you know what this man said? That he wanted to do it the next day. I did not have time to be scared. I had to figure it out with the quickness. And that's exactly what I did. And that's what it happens when you take action. There were some things that I wasn't necessarily ready for, but because I took that action, I was then able to take the next step and go and do the next thing. And the next thing that I want to talk to you about is when you go from being voluntold to delegating. So this is the next step that I see in entrepreneurship that takes the shift from employee to entrepreneur. Because as an employee, you are pretty much told what to do. You are following somebody else's vision that they've kind of thought through and decided on what you're going to do based on your expertise and how you can best serve the company to help them reach their desired goal. So you're voluntold. But as an entrepreneur, you're not voluntold. You're deciding what the vision, what the goal is going to be. So it's a total different mindset when you think about it in that way, when you're told what to do, and now that you're trying to figure out what to do. And the thing about it is you really don't have anybody to go to ask, well, is this the right thing to do? Again, this iteration thing I was just talking about. You just have to do it. And then once you do it, you'll realize, well, this is not what I need to do. I need to go this way this time. But because you took that step, that's why you're able to do that. So again, it just goes right back to being able to take the action, making a decision, and based on that decision, deciding what you're going to do next. But because you made that decision, you can decide what to do next because you have that experience. So we talked about the path, the known path compared to the iteration path. We talked about the voluntold compared to the delegation. And the next thing that actually happens is what most people don't want to do when it comes to their job. It is the failing. And when I say failing, it's really just kind of making a mistake, I'll say, compared to learning. This is a different mindset focus as well. Because when you're working as an employee, you realize that if you do something wrong, that you feel like you're failing. I know that was a big thing for me. I was the oldest of 3 kids, the first one to go off to college, really the oldest grandchild. So I was the oldest when it came from my family as well as within my cousins. I was the oldest cousin. So I felt like there was a lot of pressure on me to do what was right because I was basically leading the path. And I know many of you probably feel that way too. So I wanted to make sure that I made no mistakes. But the thing about making mistakes is you learn from your mistakes. So it's not failing, it's learning. And that was the biggest mindset transition that I had when I decided to go full-time as an entrepreneur. I started off as a side hustle. And then as I built my business and my income, I was able to transition into a full-time entrepreneur. But I realized that the failing is what helps you get to success faster. The faster that you fail, the quicker success will come. So, like, for example, right now I am doing a webinar called How to Build a Profitable Side Hustle Without Small Talk, even if you're an introvert. And I have been doing this on a weekly basis. And every week I'm learning something new. Every week I'm making a tweak to my presentation or the SOP that I have for my VA or just really the Zoom setup. And it's because I'm learning something every time that I do this webinar that I invite you to come to, because it's really centered around the three things I think a person needs to actually build a profitable side hustle. And that's first and foremost, focus attraction. So you know exactly who you're serving. And I call that the quiet niche. You want to have that quiet offer so you're able to find the need that your niche needs and be able to provide a way for them to get to their desired promised land. So you really understand their need and their goal. And then thirdly is to be able to have that quiet outreach, to really be able to come from a place of service and be able to assist your prospect, soon to be client, without annoying them. So this mindset stuff is the pillar, really is the basis of all of this, all of your business, whatever you decide to do. You want to make sure you got this mindset stuff in check, because it's a total different game when you go from an employee to an entrepreneur. You're running the show, you're making mistakes as you go, and you're iterating to figure out the right way to get to your desired promised land, which is a profitable business. So come join us, bring a friend, share this video with 3 of your girlfriends, because I hope it just kind of gives you a view of some of the things that you will go through as an entrepreneur, which is really good. It really helps you expand and grow as a person. I've always been told that, entrepreneurship is the best self-development course that you would ever be able to take. So if you want to learn more about yourself and really take your personal brand and yourself to the next level, start a side hustle and then come to the webinar to learn how you can do it in a strategic way without the small talk, but still be able to build a profitable business. So share this video with 3 of your girlfriends. Come to the webinar. You can scan the QR code right here. It's also in the description, the link, and we'll see you next time. Same time, same place. Bye for now.